Peter Semyonich is the greatest seducer of other men's wives that I've ever met. He was, of course, successful with all women for that matter. There was a special challenge to young, beautiful women married to rich, prominent men. I can never do him justice. Let him tell you in his own words. If I may say so myself, I am the greatest seducer of other men's wives that I've ever met. I say this not boastfully, but as a matter of record. The staggering figures speak for themselves. For those of you men in the audience tonight, interested in playing this highly satisfying but often dangerous game, I urge you, take out a pen and paper and take notes. I am going to explain my methods. In defense, married women may do likewise, but will do them little good if they happen to be your chosen target. Now then, in order to seduce a man's wife, there are 3 vital characteristics. They are patience, more patience, and still more patience. For those of you who do not have the strength of character to wait, I urge you, take up rowing, bicycling, perhaps. Seducing isn't for you. Now then, in order to seduce a man's wife, you must, I repeat, must, stay as far away from her as possible. Pay her practically no attention at all. Ignore her, if you must. We will get to her through the husband. Lucky for you in the audience tonight, you get to witness a practical demonstration. For as it just so happens, I am madly and deeply in love this week. My heart pounds with excitement, knowing that at any minute she shall pass through this park with her husband. Every fiber of my being tells me to throw my arms around her and embrace her with all the passion in my heart. But observe how a master works. I shall be cool, almost to the point of freezing. My heart of hearts and spouse approaches.
Ah, Peter Semyonich. Fancy meeting you here.
Oh, my dear Nikolai, how very good to see you. Notice how I'm not looking at her.
Thank you. And you sly devil. You're always looking up. Excuse me, have you met my wife, Herbert? Of course you have. You sat next to her at dinner at the restaurant. The arena. I don't know if this charmer took you at dinner, but I must warn you that he is a scoundrel, a notorious bachelor, an exceptional swordsman. That's the best I can say for you.
Oh, Nicky, you exaggerate. Madame, good to see you again.
Well, we were just taking a stroll. If you're not busy, why don't you walk with us?
Oh, that's very kind of you. But it seems my legs are like pomegranate, for a new love has entered my life. Until she is out of my sight, I fear I will not be able to move. Too much, do you think? As I said, be patient.
Fantastic. You never cease to amaze me. Pretty, I suppose.
Suppose glorious. Suppose magnificent, and you will suppose correctly.
Any complication?
As usual, a husband. Seems my cause looks hopeless.
Nonsense. I'm placing my money on you, Peter. And you know I never bet unless I'm sure of winning. Well, we're off. Good hunting, my boy. Good hunting.
Madame. Beautifully done, don't you think? I'm sometimes awed by the work of a true professional. Did you notice how our eyes barely met, and yet how much she knows about me already? A, I'm a popular bachelor. B, a gifted sportsman, a nice contrast to her sedentary husband. C, a man in love, always titillating the romantic type. And D, a dangerous man with the ladies. Quite frankly, at this point, she's disgusted with me. Because A, I'm a braggart and a scoundrel, B, because I'm shamelessly frank in my intentions. And C, because she thinks that she's not the one that I'm in love with. Excuse me if I'm slightly blown away by my own devious. Are you getting all this down? It gets pretty complicated from here on in. Now then, next step, hypnosis. Not hypnosis with the eyes, but with the poison of your tongue. Much like a venomous snake moving in for the kill. And what's more, the best channel is through the husband himself. Witness how I accidentally run into him at the club one day.
Peter, you're looking glum. I think the pursuit is not going well.
Isn't that obvious? Oh, Dickie, I'm doomed. I haven't seen her since I saw you and your wife at the farm. I eat little and sleep less. I've had all my shirt collars taken in half an inch. Oh, Nicky, why do I do this to myself? Why do I waste my valuable youth chasing women I can never truly call my own? How I envy you.
Me? What's there about me that you envy?
By your marriage, of course. A lovely woman, your wife, let me tell you.
Really? What is there about her that fascinates you so?
It's her grace, her quiet charm, everything. Mostly it's the way she looks at you, Nicky. Oh, when she looks at you. Only someone would look at me like that. Must have the quiver for your whole body.
Quiver? No, not really.
A tingle, perhaps? Don't tell me you don't tingle when she looks at you.
Of course. By all means. I tingle all the time.
She's an ideal woman, Nicky. Take that from a lonely bachelor. Be glad that fate gave you a wife like that.
Perhaps fate will be as kind to you.
That's what I'm counting on. Oh, good heavens. I'm late for a doctor's appointment.
What's he treating you for?
Melancholia. Nicky, thank you so much for lunch. And please, say hello to your wife for me, but I urge you, do not repeat the things that I said. I wouldn't want to embarrass her fragile sensitivity. Well, I'm off. Oh, where is the woman for me? I know where. The question is, how soon can she be mine? There's still work to be done, though. But not by me. That job follows my aided accomplice. Oh, by the way, I saw Peter Semyonich today.
Oh, by the way, I saw Peter Semyonich today.
Who?
Peter Semyonich, the bachelor. We met him in the gardens last week. An attractive fellow. You remember.
I remember what a loathsome man he is.
You may not think so when you hear what he has to say about you.
Nothing that braggart has to say would interest me.
He spoke most enthusiastically about you. Seemed to feel that you were... He was enraptured by your grace, your quiet charm. And he seemed to feel that you were capable of loving a man in some extraordinary way. There was something about your eyes, the way they looked so adoringly. He certainly had a lot to say about you. He went on and on. Well, good night, my dear.
Good night. What else?
Hmm?
What else do you have to say about me?
Peter?
Whatever that loathsome man's name is, what else did Peter Semyonich have to say about me?
That's more or less it, what I told you.
But you said he went on and on.
He did.
Well, if he went on and on, then don't stop. Either go on and on or let's go to bed.
Well, he said how much she envied me. How much she wanted someone to look at him the way you look at me.
How does he know how I look at you?
Well, it must have been that day in the gardens. He must have been looking at you when you were looking at me. It sent a tingle through my whole body.
The way I looked at you.
Exactly, my love.
But you were looking at him, so you couldn't have seen how I was looking at you. And either way, I was looking at the flowers because he made me nervous to wake up to avoid him looking at me. He must have tingled for some other reason.
It's getting rather confusing. The point is, he found you fascinating. I thought it would please you.
Well, it doesn't. Are you planning on seeing him again soon?
Tomorrow, for lunch.
Well, I would rather not be discussed over lunch. Tell him that. And at dinner, you can tell me what he said. Good night, Nikki.
Good night, my
Good night, my love. Oh, I'm spellbound by my own powers. I succeeded in not only piquing her interests, but causing her heart to flutter at the mention of my name. The same man she called loathsome not 2 minutes ago. And all this was accomplished, mind you, while I was at home, taking a nice, pine-scented bath. Luncheon the next day was not only nourishing, but productive. By the way, old man, I ran into a cross-off the other day. The artist, he seems he's been commissioned by some wealthy Russian prince to paint the head of a typical Russian beauty, and he asked me to look out for a model for him. Well, I said I knew just the girl, but I wouldn't dare ask her myself. Would you consider asking your wife?
Asking my wife what?
To be the model, of course. That lovely head of hers deserves to be immortalized for the whole world.
For the whole world. Really? See what you need.
Why don't you discuss it with her?
Good idea. I'll discuss it with her. Well, I said I would discuss it with you. What do you think?
I think it's nonsense. I mean, did he actually say a typical Russian beauty?
Precisely. And that it would be a damn shame if that exquisite face missed the chance to become immortalized for the whole world. That's exactly what he said.
He gets carried away by his own voice, doesn't he? How many times did he say it? Once, twice, what? Those exact words. You didn't leave anything out?
Oh, yes, that lovely face. I left out that lovely face. He said that a number of times, I think.
He does go on, doesn't he? How many times did he say it? Once? Twice? What?
Let me think. It's hard to remember.
It's not important, but in the future I do wish you would write these things down.
Have you seen me near her? Have you seen me talk to her? Has any correspondence passed between us at all? No, my dear pupils. And yet she hangs on my every word uttered by her husband. Awesome, isn't it? We apply this treatment for 2 to 3 weeks. Her resistance is weakening. Weakening. Weakening.
His mind seems to be elsewhere, if you ask me. Not some woman from the looks of him.
What woman? Has he mentioned any woman in particular?
Oh no, he's too discreet for that. He'll protect her good name at any cost. Instead, he speaks of you all day. Poor fool. I'm beginning to feel sorry for him.
It's really none of our concern, Nikki. Did you invite him to dinner tomorrow?
He's busy.
The day after then?
Busy.
Next week? Next month? When? Doesn't the man eat?
He says he's involved on a very important project and it will be months before he can see us. He did say that with patience and persistence, good things will come to him. By the way, he thinks you should go on the stage.
Me? The stage? Why? Heaven's name.
Well, he said, just a moment. I don't want to misquote him.
No. Take your time. Try to get it as accurately as possible.
Ah, yes. He said, with such an attractive appearance, such intelligence, sensitiveness, it's a sin for her to be just a housewife,
Dear. He said that?
and that ordinary demands don't exist for such women.
Nikki, I don't think I want to hear it more.
Natures like that should not be bound by time and space.
Nikki, I implore you, please, stop.
And then he says, if I weren't so busy, I'd take her away from you.
He said that.
Yes, right there.
Nikki, what did you say to him? It's important I know what you said to him then.
So I said, take her then. I'm not going to fight a duel over her.
You mustn't discuss me with him anymore. I beg you never to mention my name to him ever again.
But I don't, my love. He's the one who always brings up the subject. He actually accused me the other day of not understanding you. He yelled at me. She's an exceptional creature, strong, seeking her way out. If I were to gain you, I would put her in a novel. The passionate angel, I would call it. The man is weird. Definitely weird.
He's delivering my love letters and seals them with kisses and calls me weird. Oh, I tell you. Now see, we've got so far. The woman is definitely consumed with a passion to meet me. She is sure that I am the only man who truly understands her. Her yawning, disinterested husband transmits my remarks, but it's my voice that she hears, my words that sing in her heart. Sweet poison is doing its work. There is no room for mercy in this seducing business. I am relentless. Observe how deftly the final strokes administered. For those of you weak of heart, I urge you, look away.
No, Nikki, I don't want to hear another word from him. Nothing.
But exactly, that's what he said. He begged me to tell you nothing. He said he knew because of your sweet, sympathetic nature, you would worry to hear of someone else's distress.
He's in distress.
Worse, he's gloomy, morose, morbid, in the depths of despair.
No, but why? What's the matter with him?
Loneliness. He says he has no true friends, no relatives, not a soul who understands him.
Doesn't he know how much we understand him perfectly? Doesn't he know how much we appreciate and commune with him daily? Doesn't he know how much we yearn to be with him? You and I?
I tried to make that clear. I again urged him to come home to dinner with me, but he said he can't face people. He stood oppressed he faces in the public garden, where we met him every night.
What time?
Between 8 and 9. Oh, by the way, we're invited to the Voskovac tomorrow. Is 8 o'clock all right for you?
No. I'm visiting Aunt Sophia tomorrow. She's ill. I'll be there at 9. Or a little after.
No, that's not necessary, please. No applause. I couldn't have done it alone. I share that honor with my aided accomplice, her husband. You wooed her so successfully. There is no carriage that could have brought her here fast enough. She ran all the way. For those of you in the audience, I have to ask that you busy yourselves with your program in such the next couple minutes. This last part is private. And I am, after all, a gentleman. Oh, my dear. Oh, my sweet dear, last
No! Please, not another word, not a sound. Not until you've heard what's in my heart. For weeks now, I've been in torment. You've used my husband as a clever and devious device to arouse my passions, which I freely admit have been laying dormant these past 7 years. Whether you are sincere or not, you have awakened in me desires and longings I've never dreamed were possible. You appeal to my vanity and succumb. You disturb my thoughts of untold pleasures, and I weaken. You attack my every vulnerability, and I surrender. I'm yours, Peter Semyonovich, if you want me. But let me add this. I love my husband dearly. He's not a passionate man or even remotely romantic. Our life together reaches neither the heights of ecstasy nor the depths of anguish. We have an even marriage, modern and comfortable, and in accepting this condition and the full measure of his devoted love, I've been happy. I come to you now knowing that once you take me in your arms, my life and my marriage with Nikki will be destroyed for all time. I am too weak and too selfish to make the choice. I rely on your strength of character. The option is yours, Peter. Whichever you choose will make me both miserable and eternally grateful. I beg of you not to use me as an amusement. Although even with that knowledge, I would not refuse you. I'm yours to do as you will, Peter. If you want me, open your arms now and I will come to you.